From the Albuquerque Journal, this is the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. It's Tuesday, July 7th. Here's what we're covering on today's episode. New Mexico's race for governor is entering its final 4 months, with Democratic nominee Deb Haaland holding a commanding fundraising advantage over Republican nominee Greg Hall. Haaland raised about $1.1 million in the latest reporting period and heads into the summer with nearly $2.3 million in campaign cash. Hall has raised just over $349,000 and reported about $298,000 on hand. Political analyst Brian Sanderoff says Hall's biggest challenge will be convincing major Republican donors that he can run a competitive race. Haaland's campaign says its message of lowering costs, improving education, and expanding healthcare access is fueling strong grassroots support, with donations pouring in from across the country. Hall, meanwhile, says he's focused on a grassroots campaign and argues money isn't everything, pointing to his victory in the Republican primary despite being outspent by his opponents. The open governor's race is expected to be one of the most expensive in New Mexico history, as voters prepare to choose a successor to term-limited Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham in November. A new report from the New Mexico Department of Justice found that Gallup-McKinley County Schools disproportionately disciplines Native American and Hispanic students, causing them to miss significantly more classroom time than students in other districts. Source New Mexico's Joshua Bowling reports the investigation, which was launched in 2023 by Attorney General Raul Torres, found that students in the district lose at least twice as many instructional days to out-of-school suspensions as the state average. Native American students lose roughly 8 to 10 times more instructional time than white students, while Hispanic students lose 3 to 4 times more. The report says the district made progress by reducing expulsions and referrals to law enforcement, but recommends continued reforms. District leaders say they are reviewing the findings and point to new efforts, including an equity council and a revived Indian education committee. School board president Kevin Mitchell disputed the report's conclusions, arguing the district's student population is overwhelmingly Native American, making higher discipline numbers expected, and he also said the district remains committed to providing equitable education for all of their students. Eastdale Shopping Center is getting its first major facelift in decades. The shopping center at Eubank and Candelaria Northeast, anchored by Albertsons Market, is undergoing about $1 million in exterior improvements, including a refreshed facade and newly repaved parking lot. The upgrades are expected to be finished by late fall. Leasing broker Brandon Saylor says the center, which opened in 1965, hasn't seen a significant refresh in at least 20 years and was overdue for improvements. The property is now about 89% occupied, up from roughly 75% when Base 5 retail partners began leasing the center in 2020. 7 spaces remain available, with hopes of attracting businesses like restaurants and professional services. The improvements also coincide with the construction of a new Burger King, which is expected to open later this summer or early fall after several years of permitting delays. Property managers say the investment is already bringing new energy to the shopping center and surrounding neighborhood. And 2 earthquakes that struck early Monday morning west of Raton are being linked to industrial activity in the region rather than natural seismic forces. According to New Mexico tech seismologist Ube Barsam, the magnitude 4.2 and 4.0 earthquakes are example of what's known as being induced seismicity, caused by years of coal bed methane extraction and wastewater injection in the Raton Basin. Basu says the area has experienced elevated earthquake activity since the early 2000s, with drilling operations placing stress on the underground faults. While quakes of this size are considered light, those above the magnitude of 4.0 can be strong enough to knock picture frames off walls and are unusual for the region. Despite the shaking, officials in Raton reported no damage or emergency calls. State scientists continue to monitor the area, where induced earthquakes can occur as often as 15 times a month, and regulators can impose limits if seismic activity increases. The leading news is powered by the journalism of the Albuquerque Journal. If you enjoy hearing all of the stories we share with you here daily, please consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Journal by utilizing the discount code in our show notes. Every subscription helps support local journalism and allows us to provide you with the news that matters to you. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast, there is a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., then sunny and hot conditions with a high near 97. As for this evening, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms does exist, mainly before 9 p.m., partly cloudy with a low around 67. To keep up with all the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. That's the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. We'll be back tomorrow.